right, we are back, and we have characters, and we have institutions, and we have dice and feelings and all sorts of things. So I think we open after our like initial credit roll or whatever. I think we open in the heroes field, where like I think it's probably evening. There are some lamps, and like I think there's foresty sort of like there's a kind of like a reserved forest on like one
like
side
a grove?
of the field.
That's just
Yeah. And so I think we hear like the snapping of twigs from in the grove, and like and we see Racer like looking around and like just furtively at the sound of the snapping twigs, and I think this is the point at which what's Andrew's character's name? I've forgotten.
Pyros.
This is the point at which Pyros like spots what is the defacement that you're doing, Racer?
I'm painting the hands of the statues red.
Yes.
Nice.
Red.
So I'm probably like, if I'm not caught in the act right now, if I am in the act, then I'm like, climbed up onto the statue and like, just like.
I think you probably like you've done some of it, right? You're halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a big monument, so.
Yeah.
A lot of hands.
So many hands in this monument.
It's just all hands. No, it's not all hands.
It's like a horrifying Lovecraftian abomination. Just hands on hands on hands.
So yeah, like there's this person.
And just keep going.
Yeah.
There's a Korean sculptor who does what kind of abstract sculptures with bodies, and one of them is a set of wings made entirely of hands that are like very
I think I've seen that.
painted, or like a ring of heads that are all like interacting and making faces.
Yeah. Ash,
So it is
I showed you the horrible octopus sculpture, right?
Oh, I don't even remember.
And we've seen the handopus, yes.
Yeah, okay, there we
yes.
go, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
My favorite sculpture ever.
But no, this is some classic statuary. Classical statuary.
So Pyros, I think you spot this person up on the statue, and I think in the distance, like behind them, where they can't, like past them, where they can't see, I think you can see that there are like, I think there's like a peacemaker who is like a peacemaker reserve who is making his way like down to pay respects or whatever. I think he's probably armed because it's a sign of
That's how you do, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's a sign of how important you are, and your role as a peacemaker.
And I think Pyros is walking around with a crutch under their one arm. Under his one arm, he's got. I think he lost his shield arm, so he's right-handed. He still has his right hand, and he's got this crutch, and then like a satchel that he's kind of got. I think he's got like a stump from around the bicep, and so he's got that through like a loop of a bag that's over his left shoulder, which has like whatever tools he needed to do the like scrubbing and cleaning of some piece of statuary somewhere else. And he quickly like hobbles over and like hisses in a whisper like, "Hey, idiot, get down from there."
Yeah, I think I probably like look down and see like, how are you dressed? Are you dressed like a soldier, or are you dressed like
They don't let us dress like soldiers.
Is there a special uniform that they make you all wear to make it clear that you are soldiers who couldn't like do their fucking job and die for the Republic?
Yeah, there's some particular.
Okay.
I mean, whatever. Okay, here's what it is. Whatever the kind of clothing is that people would be put in when they were being buried or cremated or whatever, they wear. These people in my position wear that. They're essentially as good as dead.
Oh, is it that, but in like what if the inverse color is?
Yeah, exactly. It's some some inversion of that thing.
Yeah.
Which we'll say is white. White is the color of death. And
so you're all in black.
And yeah, it's like black with like white trim on it or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Andrew is Pyrrhus's is the arm on Pyrrhus's is the sleeve on Pyrrhus's left arm like tailored for, or is it like just like hang loose like how
it's
or is it like
how do people dress? Like, what am I wearing?
Or is it like I'm picturing that like it's like the uniform is recut for each like veteran, so that they're like it is on like the proof of their like shave is on display constantly.
Yeah, like it's bare from the shoulder.
Yeah,
that arm, something like that. Yeah. So whatever the case is, it's like very clear what kind of person Pyrrhus is. Like the society makes sure to make that clear and forces him to display his status. So yeah, that's what he looks like, and he's got a crutch under his good arm and a little like satchel over his other arm, and he just like hisses up at you. Yeah, like idiot, get down from there. Someone's coming.
Yeah, I think like I go to interrupt you when you just tell me to get down, and then you say someone's coming, and I like probably like drop the paint that I'm holding and just like hop off.
Yeah, and so he like, three-legged hobbles over to the side of the statue that you come down off of, and just like is going to try to like guide you to a place to hide from this person. So he's just like this way, and like very curtly like hobbles past you off to some like I don't know, there's some other monument nearby with like a narrow corridor between it and something else, and so you can kind of like squeeze through there and avoid being seen.
Sounds like some avoiding is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, let me have a look at my my factions. I'm gonna say there's one factor working against you, which is the guy that is like heading your way. So there's two successes are required. Sounds like you're avoiding.
Mm-hmm. So
either one avoiding or is.
So your intention is to get Racer like out of there. Who does it is up to you. You can both roll for it and count your successes together. So then if like one of you gets one success and one of you gets the other, then that still counts. That's fine.
That sounds fine then.
So then we both mutually take on the risk of any dice that fail getting exhausted.
If you were up to taking on that risk, I'm fine with it.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say.
I mean, like, I am going to roll either way because I want my chances to be better.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so I will roll also.
Chris is willing to help.
Yeah. How many dice are you rolling?
I'm
And of what
probably
kind?
going to roll 2 air.
Okay. I am also going to roll 2 dice.
So to use this character sheet, what I get you to do is I get you to put like 2 in the roll section and then select the action be avoid, and yep, you nailed it. Good job. And because you've said
No, it rolled all of my dice. Hold on one second.
why did it do
Did you
that?
fill in the second half, Andrew?
No, I just
Let me have a
there's
look.
nothing entered, so it rolled all of my stuff.
Oh, of course, it needs to be 000. Yeah.
Yes. So I set them all to 0 because they were at blank initially, and now I'm going to set my air to 2. Here we go. There we go.
That looks more like it.
Yep, there we go.
It thought you were bending also. All right, you've got 1 success.
I also have to set bending to 0. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we can just look at the dice as well.
Yeah.
I set
So-
bending to 0 and it's still...
Did it?
Yeah.
Neat. Okay. Well, this is
Well,
still
I
experimental.
rolled a 3 and a 6, Ash, so I get 1 success, and 1 of my air dice goes away.
Yep. Cool. And Racer also got 2 successes, so that's all good. Neat. I wonder.
So, of course, you don't really need Pyrrhus's help. You just...
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He's as much a liability as anything, but he, like, grouchily, like, leads you off into this weird little nook where we won't be seen.
Yeah. And this, I think, like, this peacemaker, like, comes through and, like, and you hear this, like, cry of, like, oh my gosh, someone has defaced this. There's paint everywhere. I've stepped on, like, a piece of pottery, and now my foot is sore. Like,
A monument has been defaced.
a monument
Where
has
has
been
the
defaced.
monument been defaced?
On their hands. Sorry, this is from another game. Yeah, and so he starts like, at the moment he's just like muttering to himself and or whatnot. It's not like a hue and cry, but he's probably going to go and tell someone, obviously. I think he calls out. He's like, is there anyone here? Any janitors, gardeners, anything like that?
Yeah, I think we're called gardeners.
Yeah.
Or like caretakers, and so I like hobble back out.
Caretaker was the one I was looking
from
for.
the spot.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm here. What's going on? And like, hobble my way over to him.
And this guy has like has just like the biggest, glossiest black mustache. That just looks and it's just so and like it's blowing in. It's so soft. It's blowing in the breeze. And he's like, he's like, can you believe this? Were you here? Did you see this? Someone has defaced this. Why has this not been cleaned yet? Like, he's just upset at the situation being what it is in general, and he's trying to make sure that it gets righted.
Yeah,
But of course,
so
he can't clean it himself because he's a citizen.
And so Pyrrhus just says, I was working over there, but I can clean this up, sir. Don't you worry.
He's like, yes. Well, I'll go and make sure that someone knows about this, because if someone's going around defacing our monuments, that's unacceptable. And he's like, I'll see if we can get. Maybe they're still around. I'll see if I'll go and get some people together to try and track this person down. Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
Starts mumbling along with him, just like, oh yes, happens all the time, really, and like playing it down.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Oh yeah, no, people like, I'll just clean it up. You don't trouble yourself. You're here for something else.
Yeah,
sure.
right.
So I'm just trying to like deflect him back to like, you do your thing. I'll take care of this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're like putting a hole in his plan. You're not striking at his, but you might be like calming it.
It sounds a little like a void.
Yeah, no, like deflecting is avoiding. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, just trying to like, be like, hey, it's fine. Don't worry.
I want to throw out an idea for an armament for you, Andrew, in that if you start like climbing up to get to the monument with your like crutch and one arm and whatnot, that like your wounds, though they are also the reason why you are why you are considered second class and not a citizen, but your wounds might also elicit sympathy from people as well in this moment. And I don't know if you like obviously trying to do this thing that he could do way easier because he's not injured, or elicit a little sympathy on his part.
If you're
I was going to go into some
milk
description.
I
was going to go into some description of how Pyrrhus is volunteering to do this thing, but it's like clearly impossible for him. He would have to climb up on this thing that he can't climb up on.
So if you want to like milk the sympathy, you can have that that scene armament.
I think having my wounds be a thing as an armament is excellent.
As an ongoing armament, or just like an element of the scene?
I want to lock that in because I'm going to lean on this all the time.
Yep.
This
cool.
is like this is his cross to bear, right? This is, like,
I think it's really good.
Yep. Cool.
so again, I will avoid. I'm gonna roll 2 dice.
Yep. Because there's 2 successes in each.
Well, and the armament gives you an extra die, right? Or
Yeah. So
it'll
what
give
we
me
do
an
is you
additional
is
die roll
that
afterwards.
you roll your dice, and then afterwards you press the button for the armament, and that's a separate roll to add.
okay.
Because
Cool.
in the same way that 2 people cooperating add their separate successes together, you cooperating with your armament, you add them together in that same way.
And also that way, if it fails its roll,
Yeah.
it doesn't
It's
exhaust.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's clear which die is which. So
Got it.
so yeah, I will roll my 2 dice.
Yeah. Why is it
3 and a 7, so 1 success, and
Yep.
then
and 1 lost?
1 more air die. Another success, so I get the 2 successes,
Cool.
which is what I.
But you do
assume I need.
lose 1 air.
Yeah, it's hard dealing with all this stuff. Tiring
yeah.
out. So, yeah, he like Pyros like starts kind of climbing it, and then like falls, like falls off of it, and like he can't even climb high enough up to fall far enough to hurt himself.
Yeah.
So it's like it is very pathetic, and he just kind of leans into it, and we can see there's like a tight shot of his face where he's like looking over his shoulder surreptitiously at the guy to gauge his reaction. So
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Pyros is flailing. We'll be like, is this working? Is this guy gonna?
Yeah.
Do I gotta play it harder?
Yeah, and then like if he wavers at all, then Pyros like swoops in. If the guy's like, oh well, I'll do whatever. He's just like, no, it's I'll. There are other people. Someone with their arms left can fix this. I'll go get them. You carry about your business. We'll be at this all day if I try to.
Yep. No, that's definitely a thing.
So yeah, just leaning hard into his expectations for the kind of person that Pyros would be.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So yeah, I think he's like he's so. I think he's going to go and report it, but I think like he's not gonna. It's not going to be an immediate thing. He's going to just say, like, oh, there was.
It's not going to have that urgency of like we have to find who did this.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. That's been set aside, so that's good.
That's not his trouble anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone's handling it.
Yeah, I've given him permission to excuse himself.
Yeah, exactly. In which case he's going to take it because like then he doesn't have to do a thing. Great. Cool. So.
And then once he's gone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I go back looking for my new friend. This thorn in my side. So yeah, like go back into that little like alcove and look and see if you're still there.
Yeah, I think I probably would be if it was like out of sight enough.
Yeah, and then there's just like the tap of the leg of his crutch on like a piece of stone to signal and that he's there, and he just says, "Clear now. You can come out."
Yeah, and I like walk out sheepishly, and I'm probably like, you said it was night, right?
Yeah, it's like evening. It's become night recently.
Okay. I'm probably like not
It's very
cloaked.
misty.
Yeah, I'm probably not like cloaked and hooded, or I'm probably like hooded, but not like all like
You don't have like a mask on.
Yeah.
cloaked and stuff like that, and I just like walk out kind of sheepishly. Like no one was supposed to catch me,
Well, no one did.
but and I just like gesture towards you.
Shrugs. But why you gotta go doing this? What are you trying to do? Send a message? Take someone on? Someone important? The only people that suffer when you do this are me. Gotta clean it up. No one's gonna care. This doesn't matter. So just stop it.
That peacemaker seemed to be making quite the racket out of it.
Like rolls his eyes. I mean, he'll forget tomorrow.
Maybe not if the hands are always red.
If you're gonna paint these hands red every day, you better clean them with me every day too. And he like prods you with a finger.
I got places to be. I can't be doing that every day.
Look, you're getting off easy this time. I don't know why I'm being so sentimental. I'm like, goes to cross his arms and can't.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, kind of just hugs himself instead. So just get out of here then. Thorn in my side. And he like mutters to himself as he goes back to like where the ceramic thing of paint or whatever like crashed and broke on the...
Yeah.
I think it probably wasn't even paint. It was probably like pig's blood.
Oh god,
God.
yeah, great. And he like
Paint's too expensive.
Yeah, fair.
shucks off his bag and is like fishing around in it for like a sponge or something, or like a brush to start
Yeah,
like cleaning
you
this
don't
up.
like. You wouldn't have a sponge or whatever would be needed for getting rid of a liquid, so you've got like a broom. Like,
Yeah. And just
It's
like,
gonna be that. Yeah, it's gonna be that thing where you're gonna have to get water and like slosh it and like kind of
yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he like pulls out the brush and then like looks at the thing and just there's a sigh and he puts it down and like has to go draw water, so he walks off to do that. Generally is a grumpy older fellow about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Sufferingly goes to do it.
When you say older Andrew, are we talking like 30s? Are we talking like 50s? Like
I think he's probably approaching his 50s, yeah. He had been in the army for a long time. And so, yeah, he just, like, trods off to go to the, like, pump, the well, the whatever, to
Yeah.
get a bucket of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if we have like aqueducts, then it's just like a tap because the water's pressurized.
yeah, it's some fucking water bending aqueduct bullshit.
Oh, well, that's nice. So it's a little more convenient. You still got to carry the bucket here while walking with a crutch. God damn it. And so, yeah, he's not happy about it, but he doesn't have any fight in him, so he's not, like, taking you to task about it. He's just, like, muttering to himself as he then walks off to get water and just, like, turn his back on you.
So I feel like is that the end of that scene, or is there something else you want to do with that?
I think that's the end.
Yeah. Are you? What is happening in the soup kitchen in the evening? What kind of clientele are there? What kind of?
This is the thing, right? I think what this looks like is I have arrangements with a bunch of like non-citizen farmers that I know, and like all of their, because again, right, like the Republic has all this bullshit, like perfect half nonsense. Any like, it may even be as extreme as, and Ash, tell me if you think this is ridiculous, like the good half of any product, right? Like if you're crop production or whatever, like the perfect half is taxed by the Republic and is set aside for citizens, and that's how they have access to universal healthcare and everyone has food and like none of it is bought.
I think
and
not
like the
necessarily, like-
shitty, and like the less perfect half is like
I mean,
reserved
like-
for the much larger population of non-citizens.
I mean, like you would halve the crop like that, maybe, right? Like.
It sounds like you have like imperfect produce. Like you get all
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but basically,
Not cutting a watermelon in half, but rather.
Yeah.
No.
there's
I'm
a
talking
big
about, yeah,
watermelon and
like
a bad
all
watermelon.
of the farms worth of watermelons. Yeah, like the good half of the watermelon yield is like
Yeah.
sent off, and the citizens enjoy it for free, and the bad half,
And-
we all distribute among ourselves.
And I think half is probably like a real euphemism here.
Yeah,
It's like the
yeah.
top 10% and like all the
Yeah.
crap, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not nearly divided as evenly as that.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think yeah, I have arrangements with like a couple of suppliers who like give me either for free or like a very discounted rate. Basically, my business is subsidized because the majority of my clientele are in poverty
Yeah. Yep.
and can't afford to feed themselves.
Yeah.
Or at least like can't afford a non-subsidized rate of food for themselves.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think I'm just like in the middle of this kitchen. I feel like because there's all these weird obsessions, like the circle is a big thing here. I feel like a lot of the buildings and a lot of the architecture is very like circular.
Yeah.
and like the architectural like hemisphere is like considered like a perfect architectural form because that's the perfect half.
Yeah.
And so this building is round, and the kitchen bit is in the middle.
Yeah.
Like there's just like a round bench, and in the middle of it is a kitchen. And so like I'm in there with like a massive cauldron of like vegetable, like cheap but filling vegetable soup, and like a pile of bread that I have baked myself. That again was made from like, you know, less than stellar wheat, but if you make it hot enough, it doesn't matter. And I'm just like dishing it out to people as they come.
Luke, would it be okay with you if Shadi's role in the soup kitchen is that because a lot of the people that we deal with are impoverished, that there's a lot of mental health concerns for those people that come, and not everybody that we get is really not everyone that we would want to take care of is necessarily able to sit down at a table
In this place and
in
eat.
this place and
absolutely.
eat, like because they could be a harm to themselves or others. And it's Shadi's, I think Shadi in this case, I don't think she ever, like, the first time you're like, you could help in the soup kitchen, she was like, nope. That's not a thing I do. But what she could do is notice the people in advance that might need extra attention and make sure that they are addressed, tended to, if needed, given their own space, if needed.
I feel like
someone that they might always get in fights with, or those kind of things.
I feel like even you also like there's some portion of our patronage that like for whatever reasons don't feel comfortable eating in this space, who want to like go back to like wherever they are homeless or like transient and like eat there. And so we take, it's that medieval like upper crust lower crust thing, like we use the crusts of the breads as like crude like bowls that we can then ladle something into that is then like taken out to them. And I feel like that's also like your job. Like I stay in the hub and you are my legs, right? Like
You're the Meals on Wheels for
you're the Meals on Wheels,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think in terms of character's appearance, I think Carrick's is Carrick's is short. Like Carrick's is like maybe 5'3", but like very stockily built, like broad shoulders, broad hips, like carrying like a fair amount of like unshaped muscle mass, but then also like a fair bit of fat on top of that. Their skin, I think, is of a slightly different color. Like it's a little bit paler and like less like kind of Mediterranean bronze and more like whitey McFrench. And their hair, I think their head is like completely shaved, and similarly, I don't think they have any facial hair. And yeah, they've just got this like big soup ladle, and yeah, they're dishing out food to people with like a smile and like a very brief exchange about like how people's lives are doing.
Yeah, cool.
And also, they're frantically looking around because, like, Risa has a shift tonight as well and is not around.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Is running late because of shenanigans.
So I don't know if Shadi wants to be in the like in the building at the time, but someone is like there's someone who's like got their food and is like sitting down with a group of other people, is like whispering, and there's like furtive glances and things like that. Is that a thing that you care about?
I mean,
yes.
So yeah, so you can make an observation roll to like pick up more details about that if you want.
Yeah, as the head of the revolutionary cell around here, yes, I am concerned about this unapproved revolutionary activity.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Shadi is concerned about conspiratorial activity. She's concerned about people that are going to
Start a fight
or hurt themselves.
Now, if you refresh your page, the bug should be fixed on the character sheet, by the way.
Ah, cool. How many successes is this going to take, Ash?
I think it's only 2 at the moment, because it's just that like you're in your kitchen.
On which subject I'm gonna lobby for. I think I get the helping die for my my
I
soup
think so,
kitchen because
yeah.
this is
Yeah, but I think it's
This
too,
is my
because, like,
place.
There is their secrecy, but although that said, it's like if you want to listen in and hear what they're talking about, I think that's like the loudness of the place in general is probably an extra factor. So that might be 3.
Yeah, that's true. But I think also like I am very used to working in this space, and I'm used to listening through.
So 2.
Yeah.
2 factors.
Cool. I'm gonna do.
Or rather, 1 factor, which makes the required successes 2.
I'm gonna roll 2 self dice, and I think that's about it. All right, observe.
Yep.
Let's try this. How badly do I want to succeed at this?
I mean,
Remember that you can buy successes with compromises if you need.
I had forgotten that was a thing. All right,
I mean,
cool.
if Kerix wanted,
Carix is fine.
Yeah, Carix is all over it.
Carix is real good at listening to things, and I'll roll the soup kitchen die as well, and that die type is self.
Yep, great.
Cool, 3
so,
successes.
Yeah, this person is seemingly able-bodied, white, cis, and male. He looks like he should be a citizen, and yeah, you hear him talking to like his eating companions, and then also like directing the conversation to like the people who are sat next to them that clearly they don't know. And he's like, I don't know why we come and eat here. I don't need to be. And he's like, we conquered the dwarves. That doesn't mean we should have to have them here serving us their poisoned food. And it's like, and someone else is like, hush. They're doing us a service. This is a charity. You and I don't have the coin for better food than this. And he's like, well, that's ridiculous. We're living in the Republic. I'm going to have a word with my father. I'm sure he can make sure that we're well fed. No one should have to come here. And yeah, he's trying to he's just laying these little seeds of dissent, as if your food is somehow less worthy or less healthy, because you're he thinks you're a dwarf.
Yeah, and so this
like a fantasy style dwarf.
Yeah, and like is the impression I'm getting from this kid that he is like a citizen?
Yeah, like that you can't spot a reason why he wouldn't be a citizen.
is citizenship something that's literally something that you wear? Like, is there an emblem or something like that? Is there like a clear designation of like who is a citizen and who isn't? Like, how do normal people know? Because I assume if you're not a citizen, you're pretty deferential to citizens in general.
Yeah.
And you want to know.
Yeah, like there'd have to be markers of it, because for stuff like being like like queer, for instance, like there's no way to like see that.
Yeah, okay, so he's not wearing the like metal armband, like
he's not outwardly displaying his citizen status.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably like, you know how Vikings would swear an oath to a lord and wear like a promise ring on their arm?
Jarl? Yeah.
Yeah, to a Jarl. I think it's that, but it's sworn to like the Republic and my brethren, right? Like,
is it a necklace of like a half, so like it's the perfect half, and it's like a little stone emblem you wear?
No, I think it's an arm thing, because
right.
because then it's a broken circle, right? So it's the golden half, and like it's more than half because this person is golden, right? Like,
whoa, what a wanker.
Yeah, but he's not wearing
and so
one.
he's like questioning the quality of my food.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I think I just like I don't move. I just like turn slightly, so I'm like half facing him and his friends in that table, and I like pitch my voice to like low to like cut through and like carry. And I'm like, do you have a complaint about the food, friend?
What do you want to happen here?
I mean, I want to see what he'll do. Like, I'm testing the waters. I'm not like actively doing a thing. I'm just like, I want to see if is he gonna make a thing of this? Like,
well, if you say that, he's gonna pretend like he doesn't realize that you're talking to him and like stare into his food and eat it.
Yeah. How much of a? Here's the thing, though. I do have some fire dice, so like. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, Sean.
I was just say, I think when Carrick uses that voice, Shoddy knows something like
Something's up.
Whatever she was doing, she like hears it, and like that. She didn't notice the people before, but as soon as Carrick sort of talked to them in that voice, she sort of mingles, dodges, weaves her way to be closer, and is giving Carrick the look of like, should I try? Like her nature is to be the peacemaker, right? Like her nature would be like if there's any ruffled feathers to try and like unruffle them, and so she looks at Carrick's like, is there something to like?
Yeah, like what do we want to do? We have the secret PCI language conversation where we're like, what's our strategy?
Because if you're getting into a fight, she'll get the hell away, and if you want them to like cool off, then she'll try and appeal to them, and so she's looking, she doesn't know what happened. She like doesn't know what she's walking into. She kind of gives you this like which way are we going here? Look.
Do I want to make this a thing? That's the real question here. Am I going to make this?
Way. Is it? Do we try to,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is a thing because like if you don't do anything, then that's also kind of like letting it slide.
That rumor is and actually, fuck no. Like I'm not gonna let some privileged young jackass who was stupid enough to come in here without evidence of his privilege.
It's really obvious that he's the youngest of his group, right?
Oh,
he's in here with like some older women and things. Yeah.
And they like none of them are like there's no other citizens with him. Just like. I mean, like that's a tactical consideration, right?
I think there's like another not disabled, but like another able-bodied,
another person who is probably a citizen but is not like officially a citizen in this moment. Yeah.
All right.
I raise my voice, like I raise the volume of my voice, and I'm like, yeah, you, and I like scruffy hair or whatever like distinguishing physical characteristic I can see about him.
Yeah, he's got a terrible beard, so like it's like
straggle beard.
Yeah, and he like looks up, and like you can see that like he looks up, and he's definitely like there's an anger and like oh well now I'm gonna like
this dwarf's got sharp ears. You got a problem with my food?
And he's like. He like looks up and he's like, I'm just not sure that he's like, some of these spices are strange, and I'm just not sure that you're really committed to cooking what does he say? He says like culturally appropriate food for this city. We have to what goes into our bodies shapes our minds. And he's suggesting that maybe you're like corrupting people with your foreign food.
Yeah.
Nice. I want to help Carrick's look because there's all these other people that are with this young man, and I want to help Carrick's look good in all of their eyes and make this young man look like an ass in front of them. So I am gonna like swoop by and try to like refill water and like tend to and just generally give good service to all of his sort of companions to show that like we are.
Yeah, the hospitality here is good. He's just a jackass.
Exactly. Like you make somebody look like a jerk by being really nice to everybody around them.
Yeah, exactly.
See how cordial we all are with each other.
Yeah, it's almost as though if he hadn't been rude, this wouldn't have been. It's almost as though if he had manners.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's like setup actions in the Republic, but I feel like I want to like
you can tend to create a scene armament for like
exactly.
So if you want to do that,
yes.
I'm not gonna. So I'm not. I don't think there's any factors working against your doing that. So it's only a one success to create an armament.
Okay, cool. And we can roll any dice, but it is conventional wisdom that water is the best at tending. Is that right? Then I'll roll those. 10 I should put 0 in bend. So
Make sure that 0 is in everything else.
Is in everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll
be like space d6 means 1d6.
no value equals everything.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Cool. So you lose 1 water, but you get 1 success, which is all that was needed to create like an armament that we can call like quality service or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. So yeah. So my goal is to get that like before you like fully lay into him. I want all this.
Before, and I think you know Carrick's well enough to like, right? Like they're not gonna like get physical with this like jackass, but like they're
Yeah,
they're maybe gonna go off of him just a little bit.
If it turns into a yelling match, I just want to make sure that he's the one that looks like a jerk and that Carrick doesn't look like a jerk.
Yeah, that I look justified.
Food and
Yeah. And so he was like, what goes in our body reflects our minds or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, this is challenging the worthiness of foreigners, right? Like he's like, you're from a foreign place.
Your gross foreign food is bad morally, on a moral level.
Yeah.
He's not calling you out, and so he's not yet calling you out as like, because I don't think he's got a read on whether he thinks you're a resident or not. So he's not
totally
going to attempt a call out yet. Like he's not quite confident enough for that.
Yeah, I'm like,
I feel like you should say something in regards to that he must have been eating shit all his life.
That was my first thought, Sean. That was my first thought. But I don't. I think Carrick actually wants to make like a totally different play here, which is they're like, isn't that interesting? Because the philosopher Galen wrote that provided that the fire in your spirit was pure enough, all other elements that passed through you would be refined. Is the fire in you weak, little man?
Yeah, right. So it sounds like you're striking at his like authority as like.
It's fuck yeah. You want to get in an argument about medicine with me? Fucking like bring it. Let's go.
Yep. Cool. That
Hands
sounds like
up.
striking.
Yep. Cool. Yes, I'm gonna strike.
There's definitely two successes required.
Yep. So I'm gonna roll my fire dice. Does my knowledge of anatomy count as an armament in the scene? Like, I actually know what I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah, that definitely sounds like you're... Yeah. Yep. And
is our quality service helping here? I don't know what it is.
Well, you can only have 1 armament for a roll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna roll my earth dice as well, just in case. Because I want to succeed at this. Damn.
Well done. That was wild. He gets eviscerated. Yeah,
I'm fucking good at this. Oh shit.
Wow. Yeah.
More successes.
He turns bright red, and he's like, well, of course, which is why I'm eating it, and I'm very thankful for your.
Yeah, and I'm nodding like, that's right. And in fact, I think I call Shadi over, and I give her like a little like clay, like a tiny little clay bowl that's full of like pepperoncino, like dried powdered red chili. Mm-hmm. That is like one of the agricultural exports of the Republic. That is like associated in our like elemental food weird medical system with like increasing the fire in a person.
Yeah.
And I give it to you and I'm like, take it over there to the young man with my best wishes for his health.
Right. So
and that's the like final impact. Yeah. But also like there's some like
stop, Luke. He's already dead.
There's what's the word here? There's some. Like I can defend myself later by being like, no, I was actually concerned about his health. Like there's I've got some plausible deniability. Yeah, but like no, this is me being nice. But actually, I'm like,
Yeah. Cool.
And I think Shadi's response, because she is the peacemaker, is like,
Yeah.
she goes over with this giant bowl that's gonna like eviscerate him. And
Oh
she,
no! It's like a little bowl of like seasoning.
Oh, it's like a little scene. Okay, never mind. 'Cause I was
No,
thinking
chili, not like the dish, like just like chili flakes. As
right.
seasoning.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, cool. Then yeah.
She passes it along with the like well wishes.
Yeah, I think she says compliments of the chef, and
Yeah.
she says to increase the fire in your food and in your heart.
Yeah.
And like displays it.
Yeah, cool. I think that's a good place to leave it for today.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great.
I think if I can, like, one thing more, I think as this whole thing resolves, Carrick's like stops paying attention to them and looks back over to the door because like Raisa is fucking late for their shift.
Yeah.
And that's both like, one, that is annoying to me because I am trying to run a restaurant here and like we do good work together, and also we're co-revolutionary conspirators, and I know not exactly but vaguely the kind of thing that you were probably out doing, and I am concerned.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at the end of each session, for each item below, gain 1 momentum or 2 momentum if that item occurred multiple times. So, so each of us, let's go through this list. Did anyone discover a new institution or a new way in which an institution oppresses non-citizens? Everyone gets to do this by default in the first session because we discovered the institutions.
Because we made them all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We made the game. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Did anyone shake, destroy, or fundamentally change an institution?
No.
Not unless putting blood on the hands of the statue counts.
I don't think
I think we
fundamentally.
challenged for sure. I mean, in both scenes, but
Yeah, challenge doesn't get you there. Did anyone act because of their calling?
I
feel like that vandalism would be trying to fracture the perfect half.
yeah.
I would say that.
Yep.
Did that happen once or multiple times?
Probably once.
Cool. So you get 1 momentum for it. Anyone else?
Shadi really worked in the inverse for calling. She wants to be seen as a person, and yet she fell back on what she knows is the way to get through problems, which is to like not be seen and to be invisible and to like be part of the fixtures. So her calling certainly was relevant to her, but she did not stand up for it.
Cool.
It was on her mind.
Yeah. Cool. If no one else has more calling things, then the last one is.
I feel like comfort should be available for all with no judgment. Like, I am running a soup kitchen that is providing like food and like a warm place to be, and like with no judgment. Like I didn't kick this douchebag out.
You didn't kick this douchebag out. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
He still got to stay, even though he was a jerk.
Did your marginalization appear in play?
Mine did.
Yeah, it did.
Good job, Andrew.
Did yours trigger multiple times? Do you reckon, Andrew?
I think it did. I mean,
I feel like we just didn't. Yeah, we didn't get to drop it. It wasn't like, oh, okay, yeah, it's came. It was like continually. I had to use it as leverage the second time around.
Yeah, I think using it
first time
as leverage the second time around was like using it in a different way. So I think that counts for 2.
I feel like it depends a little bit. Like I feel like my like height and like my complexion and all the things that contribute to people like the dwarf like trope. I feel like that is a result of my being biracial. Like that comes from that side of my heritage. So I think that came up.
Cool. Anyone else got any they want to call on? No? Cool. And has anyone achieved their calling?
No.
Cool. All right.
If we pulled that off in an hour of play, I would be very impressed.
But like that encourages you to just like set smaller callings as well. So
Yeah.
Yes, I shattered the entire
That's right.
foundation of society in 1 hour.
Yeah, Anya just like immediately went to the perfect half and was just like rolling all my dice, smash! It's disturbed. It's done. I get 5 momentum.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
That'll be good.
Well, that's us for the day then.
Wonderful.
This has been really good. Let's do some shout outs. Luke, do you want to start?
I'm first to get. God, I'm gonna have to get used to this. It's weird. Hello, I am Luke. My pronouns they them. Still, you can find me on Twitter at Wildwood Games. If you would like to buy games that I have written in the past, you can buy them at gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io. If you would like to see games that I am working on in the present and the future, I suppose, you can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/gamesfromthewildwood for as little as $1, $1 single a month.
Excellent. Andrew.
Yeah, I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at Comedian Crow. You can check out my game Girl by Moonlight, which is a Fortune in the Dark game about tragic magical girls. Also, I am doing a stretch goal for Hack the Planet, which is a cyberpunk climate fiction Fortune in the Dark game. So you can check that out as well.
Also, Andrew, is it next Monday we're doing the thing?
2 weeks from now, which I think I may make a correction about. Anyways, yeah, 2 weeks from now. I'll announce that later.
Anya.
Hi, I'm Anya, or Keeters. I don't really do anything on the internet. I have a Twitter at Keeters159, so there's that.
Cool. And you do this.
Cool. And you stream, you play games here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. You can find me as Sean Nittner pretty much everywhere. I'm streaming some games on Actual Play, including one with Andrew right over there. We're playing Girl by Moonlight together, and some other fun stuff there. I'm a project manager for Evil Hat, and we're talking to folks about publishing more games for Forge in the Dark, which is very exciting. And more games in general, not just those Forge in the Dark. And Big Bad Con is a convention I put on in October, and it's beginning to start with like con prep season, so we're going to start taking game submissions soon. So you can see that at bigbadcon.com, and we'd love to have you out because we have lots of really rad people and rad games there as well. And that's in Walnut Creek, California. So all kinds of stuff.
Cool. I've been Ash, your GM. You can find me at Acegiac, ACEGIAK, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, and Patreon. This game is The Republic. You can find it at therepublic.machinespirit.net, which is it's currently in early access, so it's like $5. And we will be back here with this again in 2 weeks. Tomorrow, Monday. Hey Luke, do you want to play the tree game on stream?
The tree game? Fucking sold. Let's
cool.
pick weird trees on stream.
All right, tomorrow night we're going to be trees on stream. It's going to be
Cool.
It's going to be a good time.
Weird trees on stream.
Like on a literal stream, like the geographical.
probably.
I mean, there is a step in the game where you are mandated to create a water feature, so possibly.
Yeah, we'll find out. So that'll be a one-shot on Monday. And then there probably won't be as many midweek streams from me this week because I'm bouncing around town a lot. But we'll be back for more role-playing games at the end of the week. So until then, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for coming and getting your hands dirty on this game. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.